If your hands are always cold, even when you are wearing gloves, or you feel that heavy, dragging afternoon slump where your brain just switches off and refuses to focus, your body is trying to send you a desperate message. You might think this is just a normal part of getting older. You might assume that needing a nap at 3 p.m. or wearing thick woolen socks in bed is simply the price of aging. It is not. These are not just signs of age, they are warning lights on your dashboard, telling you that your circulation is sluggish, your inflammation is high, and your metabolic engine is stalling. When you feel that chill in your extremities or that thick fog in your mind, it means energy is not reaching the cells. It is stuck in transit. The fuel is in your tank, but it is not getting to the engine. Two ingredients sitting in your kitchen cupboard right now, cinnamon and honey, can fix this. They are powerful, ancient tools that modern science is finally catching up with. But I must warn you immediately. Most people are doing this completely wrong. In fact, many of you are unknowingly harming your liver because you are picking the wrong jar from the supermarket shelf, or you are destroying the medicinal properties by making one simple temperature mistake. If you use the wrong cinnamon, you risk toxicity. If you use the wrong temperature, you are just drinking expensive sugar syrup. I will show you the exact golden protocol to clear your arteries and reset your metabolism, and I will reveal the one type of cinnamon you must strictly avoid. Let us first understand what is happening inside your body's engine. We need to talk about your metabolism, but forget the complex medical textbooks for a moment. We need to visualize this so you understand exactly why you feel tired. Think of yourselves like a house with a locked door. Every single time you eat, whether it's a slice of toast, a bowl of porridge, or an apple, your blood fills up with glucose. This is sugar. This sugar is the guest trying to get into the house to warm it up and keep the lights on. In a young, healthy body, the doorbell rings, the door opens immediately, and the guest enters. Energy is created, the house is warm, the lights are bright. But as we age, the lock on that door gets rusty, the hinges get stiff. This is what we call insulin resistance. It is the fundamental reason why waistlines expand and energy levels drop after 50. When the lock is rusty, the key, which is your insulin, cannot turn it. It jams. The door stays shut. Now you have a major problem. The sugar is left standing outside in the street, which is your bloodstream. This causes a traffic jam. Your blood sugar rises, damaging the pipes and creating a thick, sticky environment in your veins.
Meanwhile, inside the house, your cells are starving. They are cold, dark, and tired. This is the cruel irony of insulin resistance. You can eat a full meal and still feel exhausted an hour later. Your body has the fuel, but it cannot get it inside the engine. You are starving in the midst of plenty. This state of starvation at the cellular level is what triggers the cravings. Your brain does not understand that there's plenty of sugar in the blood. It only knows that the cells are empty. So it screams at you to eat more. You reach for a biscuit, a cake, or more bread. You add more fuel to the traffic jam, but the door is still locked. It is a vicious cycle. The more you eat, the more tired you become, and the more weight you gain around the midsection. That stubborn belly fat that refuses to shift no matter how much you walk, that is not just fat, that is a storage unit for all the energy that could not get through the door. This is where cinnamon enters the equation. Cinnamon is not just a flavor for apple pie. It acts like a biological WD-40 for that rusty lock. It contains specific bioactive components, specifically methyl hydroxychalcone polymer, that mimic insulin and help sensitize the cell receptors. It polishes the lock so the key works again. When you introduce the right kind of cinnamon into your system, the door opens. The sugar moves out of your blood and into the cell where it belongs. The traffic jam clears. The house warms up. The energy returns. Even half a teaspoon a day can significantly improve how your body handles a meal, preventing those sharp spikes and heavy crashes that ruin your afternoon. You stop storing the energy as fat and start using it as fuel. However, clearing the sugar is only half the battle. We must also look at the condition of the pipes themselves. This is your circulation. When sugar floats around in your blood for too long because the door was locked, it acts like sandpaper. It is abrasive. It scratches the delicate inner lining of your arteries and veins, a layer known as the endothelium. Your body, being intelligent, tries to patch these scratches to prevent leaks. It uses cholesterol as a plaster to cover the damage. This is a survival mechanism. But over years, these patches build up. They harden. They form plaque. This is the blockage that narrows your arteries, raises your blood pressure, and leaves your hands and feet freezing cold because the warm blood simply cannot flow through the narrow pipes efficiently. Think about the plumbing in an old house. If the pipes are narrowed by limescale, the water pressure drops at the tap. Your heart is the pump trying to push fluid through these narrowed pipes. It has to work harder, beating with more force, which raises your blood pressure.
And the extremities, your fingers, your toes, the tip of your nose, are the furthest points from the pump. If the pressure is low and the pipes are narrow, the warm blood just doesn't get there in time. This is why you feel that bone-deep chill that gloves can't seem to fix. It is an internal supply issue, not an external temperature issue. Here is where the honey plays its critical role. Raw honey is not just a sweetener to make the drink taste nice, it is a biological fluid. Think of it as a soothing balm for the inside of your veins. If cinnamon opens the door, honey heals the hallway. It helps stop the rusting process inside your blood vessels. When you combine these two, you are attacking the problem from both sides. Cinnamon reduces the sugar that causes the scratches, and honey provides the shield to help repair the walls. Better flow means warmer hands, a sharper memory, and significantly less strain on your heart pump. You begin to see why these two must be taken together. One manages the fuel, the other manages the delivery system. One fixes the engine, the other repairs the fuel lines. But we must address the most critical safety warning before you run to the kitchen. I mentioned earlier that you might be harming your liver. This is where most people go wrong, and it is a mistake that can turn a health remedy into a health hazard. You need to go to your spice rack right now and look at your cinnamon. There are two main types of cinnamon in the world, but they are not created equal. They are as different as a wolf and a poodle, even though they look somewhat similar. The first and the most common is Cassia cinnamon. This is what you find in 90% of supermarkets. It is cheap, it has a very strong, spicy smell, and it is dark brown. It is the type used in mass-produced pastries and seasonal coffees. Cassia contains a high concentration of a compound called coumarin. Coumarin is a natural substance, but in high doses it is toxic to the liver. It acts as a blood thinner and a hepatotoxin. If you are sprinkling a little cassia on a bun once a month, it's fine. Your liver can handle a small amount of work. But if you are taking it daily as a medicinal protocol to lower blood sugar, the coumarin builds up. You are trying to help your metabolism, but you are stressing your liver's filtration system. You are clogging the filter while trying to clean the engine. Imagine trying to clean your house while simultaneously dumping a bag of dirt on the floor every day. That is what you are doing to your liver with cassia cinnamon. You must look for the second type, Ceylon cinnamon. It is often called true cinnamon. It comes primarily from Sri Lanka.
It is lighter in color, tan rather than dark brown, and the flavor is more delicate, floral, and less harsh. Physically, if you look at the bark sticks, the difference is obvious. Cassia is a thick, hard, single layer of bark that is difficult to break. It looks like a piece of wood. Ceylon looks like a tightly rolled cigar with many thin, flaky layers that you can crumble with your fingers. It's fragile because the layers are so thin. Most importantly, Ceylon cinnamon has negligible amounts of coumarin. It gives you all the metabolic benefits, the WD-40 for your cells, without the liver toxicity. If the label on your jar does not specifically say Ceylon, you must assume it is cassia. Do not use generic cinnamon for a daily health protocol. It is not worth the risk. You want to heal your body, not poison it. I want to pause here for a moment. This distinction is vital. I want you to tell me in the comments below, Go and check your spice cabinet right now. What does your jar say? Does it say Ceylon or just cinnamon? Write it down. If it doesn't specify, it is almost certainly Cassia. Seeing how many people have the dangerous version in their kitchen is always shocking. Let me know what you find. Now let us move to the second ingredient, the honey. Just as there is a fake cinnamon, there is dead honey. Most commercial honey you see in the bear-shaped bottles or the generic squeeze tubes is little more than golden sugar syrup. It has been pasteurized, heated to high temperatures, and ultra-filtered. Why do manufacturers do this? They do it so the honey stays liquid on the shelf for 2 years and looks pretty. They do it for aesthetics, not for your health. They filter out the pollen because pollen acts as a nucleation site for crystals. They want it to look like clear glass because that is what consumers have been trained to buy. But this processing destroys the very things that make honey medicine. It kills the enzymes and removes the pollen. Real, raw honey is a living food. It contains enzymes like amylase, which helps your body digest carbohydrates. It contains glucose oxidase, which produces mild amounts of hydrogen peroxide when it touches water. This is what gives honey its antibacterial power. It contains propolis and pollen that support the immune system. Think of it this way. White sugar is dead fuel. It burns dirty and gives you nothing but energy followed by a crash. Raw honey is living fuel. It burns clean and brings a maintenance crew with it. When you have a scratchy throat, raw honey coats and protects the tissue because it is antibacterial and anti-inflammatory. It creates a barrier. Inside your body, it supports the gut microbiome, feeding the good bacteria that regulate your overall health. You want honey that looks cloudy. You want honey that looks imperfect. If it crystallizes or turns solid in the jar, do not throw it away. That is a sign of quality. That means it is raw and alive. Crystallization is a natural preservation process. You can simply warm it gently to make it liquid again. Clear, runny honey that stays liquid forever is usually dead. It is void of the microscopic life that helps your body heal. When you eat dead honey, you are spiking your insulin just as much as if you ate a spoonful of table sugar. You get the calories, but you don't get the medicine. This combination of Ceylon cinnamon and raw honey also acts as a powerful fire extinguisher for your joints. Many people over 55 wake up feeling like their body is a machine that has run out of oil. The knees are stiff, the fingers are swollen, and it takes an hour just to get moving properly. This is inflammation. It is a low-level fire burning in your tissues. It's your immune system constantly reacting to the sandpaper damage in your blood vessels and the high sugar levels. This drink helps put that fire out. Imagine your stiff knees are like a door hinge that hasn't been oiled in years. This protocol doesn't just mask the pain like a pill, it helps grease the hinge from the inside. Many of my clients report that after 2 weeks of this specific routine, the swelling goes down and they can walk down the stairs without holding the rail. The movement returns. You might find that you can hold a cup of tea without that aching throb in your knuckles, or that you can kneel down in the garden again. It is about restoring the fluid motion of a younger body by removing the heat that is drying out your joints. Let's do another check-in here. I am curious about your experience with this rusting feeling. Do you feel the stiffness more in your hands, your knees, or your back? And is it worse in the morning? Leave a comment below. Understanding where you feel the inflammation helps you track if the remedy is working later on. But even if you buy the best Ceylon cinnamon and the most expensive Manuka or raw local honey, you can still ruin everything in the final step, the preparation. This is the temperature trap. I see this happen constantly. People boil the kettle, put the ingredients in a mug, and pour the boiling water directly over them. They treat it like instant coffee. You must stop doing this. Boiling water kills raw honey. The heat destroys the delicate enzymes I just told you about. If you pour 100-degree water onto raw honey, you are instantly pasteurizing it in your mug. You are turning expensive medicine into cheap syrup. You are killing the maintenance crew before they can even enter your body. You're also driving off some of the volatile oils in the cinnamon that provide the benefit. You must have patience. Nature does not rush, and neither should your preparation of natural remedies. Here is the golden protocol. This is the exact method to extract the medicine without destroying it. You need to make this a ritual. Do not rush it. First, the ingredients. You need 1 cup of water. You need half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. Remember, check the label. And you need 1 teaspoon of raw honey. Boil your water. Pour it into your cup. Now, add the cinnamon only. Do not add the honey yet. Stir the cinnamon into the hot water and cover the cup with a saucer or a small plate. This is crucial. You want to trap the steam. Think of it like brewing a very strong tea. You need to give the hot water 20 minutes to pull the healing oils out of the wood and into the water. If you leave it uncovered, the medicine evaporates into the air. You want it in your cup, not in your kitchen. While you are waiting, understand what is happening in that cup. The hot water is breaking down the cellular structure of the cinnamon bark, releasing the cinnamaldehyde and the water-soluble polyphenol compounds. These are the antioxidants. By covering it, you ensure that the volatile components, which are responsible for the aroma and much of the therapeutic effect, condense on the saucer and drip back into the cup. You are creating a concentrated infusion. Set a timer if you have to. Go and have a shower, read the paper, or do some stretches. After 20 minutes, come back to the cup. Touch the side of the mug. It should be lukewarm, roughly body temperature. It should be comfortable to hold. Only now, when the water is cool enough that you could put your finger in it without pain, do you add the teaspoon of raw honey. Stir it in gently. At this temperature, the honey dissolves, but the enzymes remain alive and active. You are creating a potent, living elixir. The best way to take this is to split the dose. This is a pro tip that maximizes the effect. Drink half a cup in the morning on an empty stomach, about 30 minutes before your breakfast. This primes your metabolism. It greases the locks on your cells. It prepares your body to handle the fuel you are about to eat. It wakes up your digestion. Think of it as warming up the car engine on a cold morning before you drive it. You are ensuring that when you do eat your breakfast, your insulin is ready, your cells are receptive, and the energy will be absorbed efficiently rather than stored as fat. Drink the remaining half at night, right before bed. This is equally important, perhaps even more so for those of you who struggle with sleep. While you sleep, your liver is working hard. It is the night shift worker of your body. It has to detoxify the blood, process hormones, and regulate your blood sugar for the next day. This requires energy. The honey provides a steady, slow-release fuel for the liver, known as liver glycogen. This prevents your blood sugar from dropping too low during the night. When blood sugar drops at 3 a.m., your brain senses an emergency. It thinks you are starving. So your adrenal glands release cortisol, the stress hormone, and adrenaline to wake you up and tell you to find food. This is why many people wake up suddenly in the middle of the night, heart pounding, mind racing, or feeling hot. It is a metabolic panic attack. The nighttime dose of honey acts as a fuel reserve. It keeps the liver happy, which keeps the blood sugar stable, which keeps the stress hormones low. This allows you to stay in deep, restorative sleep. Furthermore, the cinnamon taken at night continues to work on your insulin sensitivity while you fast during sleep. It helps lower your fasting blood sugar, which is the number your doctor cares about most. You are literally treating your metabolism while you dream. Do not expect a miracle overnight. We are conditioned to expect immediate results because we are used to pharmaceuticals that force a chemical change in minutes. If you take a painkiller, the headache goes away in 20 minutes. Natural remedies work differently. They work by accumulation and repair. You're repairing damage that took decades to build. You are scrubbing the rust off the hinges and patching the scratches in the hallway. This takes time. Give your body the right materials and it will repair itself, but you must be consistent. You need to view this as a lifestyle adjustment, not a quick fix. If you drink this for 3 days and then stop, you will see no benefit. The cellular changes, the polishing of the insulin receptors, take time to manifest. You might notice the energy shift first. That afternoon slump might become less severe after 3 or 4 days. The warmth in your hands might take a week or 2 as the circulation improves. The reduction in joint pain usually takes about 2 weeks of consistent use as the inflammation levels drop systemically. Try this for 2 weeks. Commit to the ritual. Watch how your energy stabilizes in the afternoon. Notice if your hands feel warmer as you watch television in the evening. Pay attention to your knees when you get out of bed. Is that first step of the day easier? Is the brain fog lifting? Are you remembering names and appointments more clearly? These are the subtle signs that the engine is running clean again. It is also important to consider what you are eating alongside this protocol. While cinnamon and honey are powerful, they cannot completely undo the damage of a terrible diet.
If you are eating processed sugars, white flour, and deep-fried foods all day, you are making the job much harder for the cinnamon. You are throwing mud on the car while trying to wash it. Try to reduce your intake of refined carbohydrates while you do this protocol. Give the remedy a fair chance to work. There are also a few specific cases where you need to be careful. While this is a food-based remedy, it is potent. If you are already on medication for diabetes, be aware that cinnamon lowers blood sugar. If you take the cinnamon and your medication, your blood sugar might drop too low. This is called hypoglycemia. You might feel dizzy or shaky. This is actually a sign the cinnamon is working, but it means you need to monitor your levels closely and talk to your doctor. They might need to adjust your dosage because your body is becoming more efficient. Also, purely as a legal and safety precaution, this information is educational. Do not change your doctor's treatment without consulting them. I'm sharing nutritional wisdom to support your body, not replacing your medical supervision. Especially if you are on blood thinners, consult your physician, as cinnamon has a mild blood thinning effect, which is good for circulation but needs to be managed if you're already on medication for it. Nature has given us the tools. They've been used for thousands of years in Ayurvedic and traditional medicine for a reason. Ancient healers didn't know about insulin receptors or endothelial lining, but they observed the results. They saw that this combination revived the weak, warmed the cold, and eased the stiff. We just need to use them correctly. It is not about expensive pharmaceuticals. Sometimes it is about the wisdom of the cupboard. Think about the simplicity of it. No prescription needed, no side effects if you use the right type. Just a simple tea that tastes comforting and does profound work on your biology. It is empowering to know that you can take charge of your own physiology with something so accessible. Check your spice rack today. Is it Cassia or Ceylon? Is your honey clear or cloudy? These small details make the difference between a tasty drink and a healing tonic. Do not compromise on the quality. Your health is worth the extra few dollars for the real Ceylon cinnamon and the raw honey. You're investing in your own vitality. Take control of your health with these small, daily decisions. Your body is resilient, but it needs your help. It needs the right oil for the engine and the right coolant for the radiator. Start the protocol tonight. Prepare the water, cover it with the saucer, and let the steam do its work. Your future self, with warmer hands, a sharper mind, and knees that don't creak, will thank you for it.
If this topic interested you and you are ready to look at other simple changes in your kitchen that can transform your health, you will love this next topic. I highly recommend you watch Soak Walnut Overnight, Why This Removes the Anti-Nutrients next. It explains another critical kitchen mistake that is blocking your absorption of minerals and making your digestion sluggish. Just like the cinnamon, it is a small tweak with a massive impact. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. See you in the next video.